Hey guys, Urban Combat Survivor here. This is a video response to Legend Sexy. You generally keep your videos down under 5 minutes, so I'm going to try to make this quick so that I'm within your video format there. For those who haven't watched it, go check it out. I'll make this a video response to that, so you can find it if you're not subscribed to him. The premise of your video is that we need to go after the businesses that are hiring these illegal aliens, because the illegal aliens are just a symptom of a larger problem. Now, I think you know that you and I agree on this. I've stated that many times on Blog TV and rooms where you're, that you're one of the chatters. So I think we agree on that. Where I disagree with you is that the businesses are the problem. I don't think they are. I think they're another symptom. I think the fact that businesses are hiring illegals is a symptom of a larger problem. You got to take this thing all the way back to the root cause, in my opinion, if you really want to fix it. And, the analogy I usually use is this. Most people run around in their lives constantly fighting little fires. There's little fires everywhere, and they're constantly running around trying to put them out because they never take the time to identify and slay the dragon that's causing those fires. Well, this border thing is no different, and the fact that businesses are hiring those coming over the border is the same thing. If a business cannot legally run in this country and still be able to stay in business, then what's going to happen is one of two things, both of which are what's happening all over this country. Either the business folds or leaves, effectively the same thing for us. It either goes overseas or it just shuts down. Or they're going to find a way around it, because people need to make a living. People need to make a profit. Everybody likes to piss and whine about a business making a profit, but if the business isn't making a profit, why is the business there? Who's going to run a business if it's not making any money? Well, I'm sure in somebody's ideal world, that makes sense, but in the real world, that's just a bucket of stupid. So, anyway, off that socialism stuff. I think it's just another symptom. If you want to fix the problem, get the government out of businesses. Just get them completely out of businesses. And two, get the unions out of the businesses. Between those two things, you've got the unions constantly pushing for these ridiculous regulations with these politicians that they've bought and put in place. And the reason they're doing that is because they want non-union shops to be unable to compete with the big union monsters. They don't want you to be able to compete as an individual. You're you're a carpenter. They don't want you to be able to go out there and bid on jobs, because realistically, the way business works is you're going to bid lower than the other guy. Well, when the other guy is running a union shop, it's easy as hell for you to underbid him, because everybody's being way overpaid. So you can go in there, and this guy gives a bid on, job X, and his bid is $180,000, and you can go in there and bid on job X and say, hey, I can do it for 45 grand. And you're going to get the job every time. So the unions pushed for these regulations that mandated things like you have to have insurance. Not just any insurance. You have to have the big monster business insurance that's impossible for a single guy to go out there and get. So you can't run a business. They start passing these ridiculous laws that really have nothing to do with what any of those laws claim they're about. Really, it's all about making it so that you can't do business for cheaper than union buddies. Now you got to look at the other side of it. The union's not in this alone. You got to look at the government has passed regulations on the other side, because now you got special interests in the business that are saying, all right, well, we want this, and that, because now it's so difficult for us to do business because of these unions. Now it costs me, 5 times as much to make a product as it did before these unions came in. So the business goes on the other side, and they're buying the other politicians. And they're getting regulations passed that are also meant to keep you from competing with them. And in the end, you have these two big monsters, these multi-billion-dollar unions, and the multi-billion-dollar companies squeezing you in the middle, and you're just trying to make a buck. Now enter the illegal aliens. Ronald Reagan is a conservative icon, yet he granted amnesty to millions of illegals. In my opinion, that was a direct combat strategy for the unions. You can't run business in this country unless you do it illegally. So the agriculture industry was going to die. Many industries were going to die. Well, those industries, look, you know what would happen if you removed all the illegal aliens right now without fixing the problem? Whatever is left of our economy would just collapse. You have to fix the problem. Don't get me wrong, I think the border needs fixing, and I think the illegals need to stop coming in here. I agree with you on that. I think it needs to be shut down cold, and it could be done. The problem is, that's fighting a fire. First you got to slay the dragon, then you got to put the fires out. So get the government and the unions the hell out of business, and let America, look, don't blame China, man. China's kicking our ass right now, and it's not their fault, it's our fault. It's like when you start a class, the first day of a class, you have an A+. It's up to you whether or not you continue earning that A+. Well, America, we had an A+ back in the 50s and 60s, and then these unions started getting control. And the special interests on the other side started trying to combat the unions. And it went back and forth. The government became a big monster. You know, the government that initially was only supposed to be in session for 3 months of the year, well, now they're in there all year long, and everything they're doing is churning out laws that serve their own interests. They have nothing to do with us. None of these laws have anything to do with making business better in America. So that's what happened. All the businesses closed up shop here. Many of them went overseas, and some of them just closed up. There's just, can't do business anymore here. Well, somebody's going to fill that niche. So new businesses open up, and they hire some illegals. Or they just move to China or India, where it's cheaper to do everything, and they ship it all the way around the world, because they can make it and ship it all the way around the planet, then distribute it through our entire country for you to buy, and it's still fucking cheaper than if they made it right there in Indiana. No, that border is a symptom, buddy. It's not the problem. And I don't think the business is business is the dragon there. I think the regulation and the unions are the dragons. So, just my opinion, man. Urban Combat Survivor. Signing off.